Yeah.
We showed you this graphic a little while ago. LeBron James became the first player in NBA Finals history to lead both teams in these categories: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. That all happened in this 7-game NBA Finals series. He is the Finals MVP for the third time, fifth player ever to rack up 3 of those awards, and continues the tradition here on NBA TV of the MVP joining us here on the set. Back in 2009, it was Kobe. Did it again in 2010. Dirk, of course, hanging out with the trophy. LeBron's been through this before, a couple of times, in fact. Kawhi Leonard 2 years ago. Last year, of course, Andre Iguodala. And take it live, here he is, the MVP of the 2016 NBA Finals. And we saw the emotions immediately pouring out when the buzzer finally sounded. Can you explain what's going through your head at that point?
Just everything. From being down 3-1 to, take it all the way back to when I decided to come back. They said, listen, I want to bring a championship to the city. To Cleveland sports history, understanding the last 50-plus years, you think about, like, the Ernest Biner fumble in the late 80s to Elway going 99 yards. Think of the Jose Mesa, not being able to close in the bottom of the ninth in the World Series. You think about MJ hitting the shot, heard around the world over Craig Elo. Like, 07 getting swept by the Spurs myself last year, 4-2 versus the same team. You just think about all of that. And then you think of me personally, I think about all the doubters that I continue to have over my career. Even what I've been able to do in my career, I still have, the same people, the same doubters. And then lastly, just the Cleveland fans. I can't imagine what the hell they doing back home right now.
We saw
I haven't seen it.
Vince Cellini's in the stands.
Yeah.
Vince Cellini's out.
They're having some fun.
I told our owner we might have to build another arena because they probably tore that one down.
It's still up.
Yeah, so all those emotions, man, they just came through my body. I couldn't hold it.
Great scene. You know the narrative about the finals record when it comes to your history. In your mind, in terms of the big picture, your ultimate resume, how different is 3-4 versus 2-5?
From a personal, I'm my biggest critic, and for me to be even part of the finals, and you're gonna look back on it, it's like, I lost 5 of them, or I lost 4 of them. It's like, I had more chances, so that would play with me. But as far as how everybody kind of categorized what I did in my career, I don't let that kind of bother me because I know how true I am to the game. I know what I give to the game. I know what I give to my 14 guys and my coaching staff in the city. So, that never bothered me too much. But, for me personally, it's like, I could have had 1 or 2 more, but, everything else didn't bother me.
When you left Miami, the one thing that you said that resonated with me was that this is bigger than basketball.
Yeah.
And when you talked about it being bigger than basketball, not very many people understood the moment and understood what the situation was in Ohio, yourself, what you represented to Ohio, winning a championship there. And when you made the decision to leave Miami and come back to Ohio and say, we're going to do it for the land and we're going to be all in, how difficult a choice was that, and how tough has this journey been for you personally and emotionally?
I told myself, Brian, you got to be patient, but I'm not a patient guy. But I knew when I came back, I felt like I had the blueprint to get it done. So now my challenge was, how can I get the organization and how can I get the players to follow me and listen to my command every day? You don't like it.
Right.
Sometimes you love it. Sometimes you don't like it at all. But if I hammer home every single day, listen, this is what we need to do along the path. I know how to get there. If you guys follow me, I can get you guys there. That's what it was about, and it was testing to me, because like I said, I'm not a patient guy, Isaiah, but I had to continue to tell the organization, tell the players, tell everybody that's a part of All In, I know what to do, I know how to get it done, just follow me, and they believed in me.
LeBron, you've had some historic moments in the playoffs, and these last 3 games, back to back to back, putting up some unbelievable performances under the circumstances, down 3-1, going on the road, potentially, losing the game at Golden State, who plays well at home. I've always felt that as a player, you read the situation and you just provided what was needed. But what was going through your mind coming back here for Game 5, down 3-1? Were you just like, I got to come out and score? What was going through your head as you prepared for the game?
Well, those first 2 games here, I played a little bit too fast, and I allowed their defense to speed me up a little bit too much. Kind of remind me of the San Antonio series in the 2012, the first time I won it. So I went back and watched film. I just watched a lot of film. I was like, okay, Brian, they're giving you the mid-range shot. They're giving you the 3. You practice it every day. Just trust in your mechanics. Just trust in what you've put into the game. So I started to watch film. I watched it. And to take you, like you said, Smitty, all the way to Game 5, I was like, okay, we're down 3-1. At the end of the day, if we would have swept home court in the 7-game series, we still need to win 1 game in this series on their floor.
Yeah.
So we have 3 wins. We still got to win 1 game on their floor. So why not Game 5? And if we can win Game 5, I know what our fans is going to do for us, and I know we're capable of doing at home. We only lost 1 game, and that was Game 4, and that was to these guys. So I knew we was capable of doing. We just had to get 1. And I told those guys, listen, we got to fly back home anyways. We got to fly back home anyways after Game 5. We might as well fly back and give our fans another game.
LeBron, you had phenomenal numbers last season in the finals this year. But then you got to have a coach that you have a connection. You and T. Lue's connection.
Oh, man.
Just talk about how special that is. You know, you have your players, you're around every day, but I have a coach, T. Lue, coming to mid-season and seemed like y'all were on page from day one. Just talk about that relationship.
Smitty, you said it, man. When you grow up in the inner city, and where you guys grew up, you always stacked against the numbers. You're always like, okay, he's going to be another statistic. There's no way he can make it out and become something bigger than what the society say you should be. Myself and T. Lue, him from Mexico City, Missouri, me from Akron, Ohio, single-parent households, we knew the struggle where every single day is really not promised. So you always kind of against the numbers, and people saying there's no way you can make it out. So from T. Lue going, from Mexico, Missouri, to going to Nebraska and being drafted to the Lakers, and me making it out of the inner city and being drafted to my hometown team, we had a lot of things in common, and then being a competitor of his, seeing how feisty he was, in his playing days, to then being a competitor, him as a coach, him with Doc Rivers, and me going against that Boston Celtics team, and then when Doc went to the Clippers, me going against that Clippers team. And when I saw that he was taking a deal in Cleveland, to be an assistant, that was like, when I decided to come back, I was like, I know that guy as an assistant, and I can trust that guy. And I can't. It's crazy to see how everything kind of plays out, to him being a head coach and me being the leader of the team, and just some mutual respect, man. Just some mutual respect, Smitty.
I want to get your reaction to a couple of things here that I haven't seen, but I'm told we have tweets from Jim Brown. I didn't know Jim Brown tweeted. Until just
I didn't even know he had a Twitter.
And I'm trying to read it. It's very small.
What a great night and moment for the city of Cleveland. Congratulations to the entire Cavs organization and bringing it home.
There you go. And from the President of the United States.
Wow. What a game and what a series for the Cavs. Happy to see King James bring it home for Cleveland.
LeBron, I want to go to this.
When the president calls you King James, you know you all right.
Mama did something well, I'll tell you.
LeBron, I want to go to this. You hit some phenomenal shots, rebounds, passes, and Kyrie hit that shot. But we talked about that block.
The block.
Yeah.
The block changed the series. What was going through your mind? You didn't give up on the play, because I thought you could have blocked it on the left side and the right side.
Well, they broke out in transition, man, and we all know Iguodala in open floor. He's one of the best guys we have in our league. It was just like, I can't give up on this play. There's no way I can give up on this play. And
well, were you playing the reverse also?
I was playing both. Listen, I was ready for, if he went to the reverse, I was ready for the left hand, and I was ready for the right hand too. And to be able to save a possession, that's what we've been talking about. Every possession matters. Every possession matters, and a huge play right there.
Were you surprised at all they didn't try to take the ball out of your hands more often in the last couple of games?
Well, I didn't shoot the ball particularly well in Game 7. But, they sent the double team at times, and they brought some more guys into the paint in Game 7. But I was in a zone. I was in a zone that I probably seen Isaiah before when you hurt that ankle.
Right.
You hurt that ankle in L.A., you got into that zone. I was in a zone. So, at that point, you don't even see the defender. You just see the ball, in the basket. And it's a great feeling to be in.
LeBron, you talk about being in the zone. We had D. Wade on before the game, and he said from playing with you during playoff time, you lock in like no one else he's ever seen or played with. And so just talk about your preparation for the playoffs, the whole journey through the playoffs, and obviously here in the finals.
Well, I think the best thing about what I've done over the last few years, I've kind of gotten away from what everybody talk about. During the playoffs, I get off social media. I don't watch sports talk radio. I don't watch all the things that be on TV. It's just like at the end of the day, the game is won in between these four lines. You can have all the talking. You can have everybody saying what's going to happen, but the game is won in between the four lines, and that's where I thrive at. That's where I bring to the table. When we get on these four lines, listen, everything is said, but let's get on this court and let's make it happen. So, that's where my focus, that's where my mentality just came from the last few years, and I know how much I put into the game. I know how much work, and then I just go out and play.
One more last thing. We talk about the greatest to ever play, and I know that is a goal of yours. And I look in that room right now. There's you, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain.
Wow.
What y'all talking about in that room? I mean, you five guys, to me, you're in the discussion of the greatest to ever do it. I don't know if there's a six, and if I'm missing one, somebody please correct me. But when I look in that room, it's you five guys. So what's the conversation like? What y'all talking about?
I'm probably going to be the one that will be a loss for words. I'm telling you, because, everybody know me. They say how boisterous and my voice, so loud and powerful. But if I walk into that room and see those guys, it's like it just take me all the way back to a kid. It's like, man, I read about you guys. I either read about you guys or watched you guys. You guys inspired me. It's like you allowed me to come in here.
Oh, you in there?
I'm in there.
Yeah, you in there.
I'm gonna be in awe. I'm gonna be in awe, man.
And we doing this.
Hey, listen.
We peeking in.
It's gonna be like being at a Beyonce concert. I'm gonna be like this.
We gotta call the Beehive.
I'm telling you.
I don't know who's running that room, but there's no question about who the king of Cleveland is. 3-time NBA champion and 3-time Finals MVP. LeBron James, here on our set.
Appreciate it,
Congratulations.
man. Matt, Smitty, Grant, Isaiah, I appreciate you guys, man.
And the young fellas over there.
Yeah, I got my young boys over there too, man.
Future.
Thank you so much, guys.
Doing it like Jim Brown did back in 1964. 52 years later, Cleveland has another championship. There's the great Jim Brown, who was with us in Cleveland earlier in the series. And no longer is there a drought for a championship in Cleveland. Back with more after this.